Everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I'm your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, let's go up to Rochester, New York. Everybody knows what's going on in Rochester. This is where the police chief and his whole command just quit, just absolutely retired because of all the stuff that was going on with Black Lives Matter and the protest that was going on up there. This is also where those restaurants, where the people were sitting at the restaurants, and these people came in and overturned their tables and drank their drinks right in their face and all the rest of the stuff. This is that same Rochester, New York. Anyway, they had a mass shooting there last night, and it is completely off the chain. I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to show you the police chief talking, the acting police chief. Tragedy, 14 wounded, 2 killed in overnight shooting in Rochester. This was just last night. 2 people were killed and 14 were wounded early Saturday morning after gunfire erupted at a party on the city's east side. The incident unfolded in the early morning of the 200 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. Acting Rochester Police Chief Mark Simmons said a man and a woman between the ages of 18 and 22 were slain. Police say the remaining 14 victims are between the ages of 17 and 23. These were all kids. The injuries are not considered life-threatening. This is a truly tragedy of epic proportions, if you ask me. I mean, 16 victims is unheard of. This is a war zone, people. For our community, who is right now going through so much, to have to be dealt this tragedy needlessly because of people who decide to act in a violent manner. The police didn't shoot these people. This is what the black community has to understand. It's unfortunate. It's shameful. We're going to do everything we can as a department to bring those people involved to justice. All right, I'm going to show you his news conference, and then we're going to get out of here.
As you may be aware, you see the large police presence here in the area of Goodman Street near Pennsylvania Avenue. At around 12:25 this morning, we received multiple phone calls from concerned citizens after hearing gunshots in the area. As officers arrived near the 200 block of Pennsylvania Avenue, officers observed approximately 100 people running to and from the 200 block of Pennsylvania Avenue, which was a very chaotic scene. We can see and observe multiple victims of gunshot wounds at that time. In fact, in total, we have 16 confirmed victims of shooting. And I'm sad to announce that 2 of those 16 received a fatal wound. Right now, I'm unable to identify those 2. Because we are still in the process of confirming that identification and notifying those families. But I can say one of our victims, deceased victims, was a male, approximately age 18 to 22, and the other was a female, approximately the same age, between 18 and 22. The event that was taking place in the 200 block appears to be some type of backyard party. That the police department, up until the point where the 911 calls came in for the shots fired, was not aware of. In fact, we checked our records and we don't show any 911 calls for a disturbance or a loud party or even illegal parking. Again, it was not until we arrived that we realized what was taking place at the location and did a very good job trying to manage the scene, trying to identify witnesses and victims and get them the medical treatment that they needed. I would like to thank the New York State troopers who responded to assist us, the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, Irondequoit PD, and all our other town partners who came to lend a hand for, as you can imagine, a very chaotic scene. This is yet another tragedy where individuals are having these illegal and unsanctioned house parties taking place in these properties, which, number one, is not safe, because of COVID, because of the conditions. And then you add in alcohol and violence, and it just becomes a recipe for disaster. So I urge anyone who has any information to please contact the Rochester Police Department. This scene will probably be held for a considerable amount of time. We will notify you when it is open, and we are in the process also of trying to inform the neighbors and figure out a way that they can take care of the things they have to do tomorrow. But again, we will be here for the foreseeable future.
Chief Simmons, are there any suspects in custody at this point?
Right now, we do not have any suspects in custody.
Do you anticipate that there were multiple shooters involved in this incident?
It's too early right now to really tell.
Can you give us
Has
a
a gun been
description?
recovered?
We're in the process still of investigating, and we are looking for evidence that would help us solve this case.
Can you give us a description of the male victim?
The male victim is a male black, approximately age 18 and 22 years old. And the
What does
female,
he look like? What color clothes does he have on?
I cannot provide that information right now, ma'am, because we haven't notified the family or really positively
His family
identified
is
it.
here. We don't know. We need to know.
So in just a second, I will talk to you off camera.
Okay, thank you.
Did the shooting happen inside the house or outside? Was it a drive-by?
It appears that the shooting did happen outside. A lot of the evidence supports that the shooting happened in the backyard.
Now, can you tell us the youngest victim?
Again, the ages have not been all identified, or the victims, excuse me, ages and names have not all been identified
What
yet.
hospitals were they transported to?
They are transported to 2 hospitals. Some are at Strong Hospital and others are at Rochester General Hospital.
How serious are their injuries?
It's our understanding that none of the other victims have suffered life-threatening injuries.
Okay, guys. Do anybody really believe the black community needs less police? Just think about that.